Hello guys, Sir Granulot here with a Pancake update, Pancake being my rogue, my Bladedancer. First day of the release, I managed to complete the whole campaign. It took me about, I believe, 7 hours, clearing everything, right? I did not leave a single stone unturned. Then, unfortunately, after that, I had a couple of days during which I have to do things like, work. So I didn't manage to put in a lot of grinding time, but I made some decent progress. Level 74, going strong. She's currently built for dancing strikes because it's still a little bit early to switch to shadow knives. I'm missing a lot of important gear for that, and also I enjoy shadow dancing strikes, so I might stick with dancing strikes for a while longer. And these are my current stats. We don't talk about lightning resistance, but it is what it is. All in all, considering that I'm still doing regular monoliths, this is decent. I just need to be careful about enemies dealing lightning damage. I was fairly lucky about getting this one, not because it's a rare item. Like, I believe the drop rate is 50% for the woven flesh. But the point is that when you go through the regular monoliths, you don't want to waste time doing them again to try to drop one. And the fact that I cleared the monolith with the abomination, whatever it's called, and it dropped the woven flesh, it saved me some time because it's a very good piece for this character. And I'm using these boots just because of the resistances, they're helpful and extra movement speed. And I dropped the Swaddling of Erased, I was hoping that it would give me something useful. Not amazing, not even the worst. Let's see how it rolls. Everything else is like random garbage that I found while doing the campaign, and that gets upgraded basically every 5 minutes. Although this one is pretty sweet, actually, to be quite honestly, frankly with you. Skills, this stuff, very standard. It's pretty much this exact same build as the Shadow Daggers build, with the difference that I'm replacing... what is it called? Oh my god, I'm terrible with names. Synchronized Strike. I'm replacing Synchronized Strike with Dancing Strikes for the time being, and later on we will see. Because there is a secret illegal threat that the government doesn't want you to know, which is to get Graceful Arena, like, respec a few things, go down here, get the Graceful Arena to create this fighting arena, and also get the unique sword that does the same thing, so you create an arena of doom and you one-shot the universe within that arena. But first, I need to make some levels on Dancing Strikes and respec them, and then I also need to get the sword. It's going to take a lot of time, really a lot of time. Without further ado, since the passives, I could show you the passives, but they're pretty much what I showed during the video for the build that I was planning to follow, with a few exceptions, of course, because, like, if I was not using Synchronized Strike, I would not have picked up something like this, and I would not have picked up something like this, There is quite a few nodes that I would respec later on if I switch to shadow knives / daggers / blades, whatever it's called. I'm terrible with name. And I started to drop a few points in here because this is a very sweet node. Very, very sweet indeed. We shall see later on what happens. I'm currently in the process of clearing the regular monoliths, so it's going to be a fairly... low effort showcase of the character, because regular monoliths are not particularly challenging. Says as he's about to get one shot, because it always happens. It happens all the time. We could go to try to clear a Shade of Ouroboros. Shade of Ouroboros, just to see if we can get a ring. Man, it would be amazing. I don't even know if it drops in regular monoliths or if it's empowered monoliths exclusively. There is a couple of... by a couple, I mean a few. There's a few items that can drop only from the shades, but I'm not sure if they are available even on regular monoliths. We will have to wait and see. Not really wait and see, because, killing one in a regular monolith is not really a sample size that is particularly reliable. But at the same time, it's going to give me the possibility of getting one, which would prove the point. And talking a little bit about something slightly off topic from the last epoch, there is some unfortunate timing from Kaista Rail, which will prevent me from streaming the pools for Hanabi the coming Friday. Reason being that the last day of February is going to be the day that Hanabi's banner is released. And I need the currency that you gather while you pull for a character to empty the shop, because I've not purchased anything yet from the shop. And that day, which now that I think about it, is probably going to be Thursday rather than Friday, I cannot stream. I have absolutely no time for streaming that day. So I will record my streaming session. We will see if I am as lucky as during Run Maples, or if I will get as blasted by the RNG gods. Then if Friday I can stream, we will be doing it. If not, it is what it is. Very busy period, unfortunately. For people not in the know, I got a little bit sick in the last couple of months, a bit too often. Like, I got the flu, and that knocked me out completely for more than a week. And then I got a weird bug that my daughter caught in school, and she gave it to my wife, and then I was the last one to get it, and that one knocked me out for a week as well. Oh my god, I do not have the what is it called, the loot filter here. I do not have a loot filter from this computer, feels bad, man. The loot filter is not shared among different platforms. It's not saved in the cloud, and later I will have to to go back to the computer from where I created the loot filter and save it and transfer it here as well. I'm basically hiding everything that is below rarity, yellow rarity, and only saving stuff from the rogue. If I do end up deciding to try another character later on, we will see what we find along the way. Hello, Shadow of Ouroboros. You are the boss of this thing. Do you think you are in charge? What is my void resistance? I think my void resistance is at the cap or close to the cap, so it should be pretty safe. I was a bit concerned when, what's it called, smoke bomb... smoke bomb? Smoke bomb! What the fuck, brain? Look, guys, it's Saturday morning. I just woke up. I'm a bit tired. I could have slept better last night, so you have to forgive me, okay? You have to bear with me for a second. We got the ring! We got the ring! Let's go! We did it! We win the game! We became the Star Rail! We became the Star Rail. This is a doggy, by the way. Whoever designed this arc created a doggy. Voluntary or involuntarily. 6 movement speed, we got a pretty high roll. Pretty low roll for melee damage leech. The base elemental resistance is extremely low. Pretty good though, pretty good. It's just unfortunate that the stats are S and my 2 rings are pretty decent. Because this ring increases a lot of damage. I'm at 9.5k, without the ring I'm at 8.2 and it doesn't do much. But it has a lot of leeched life, it has movement speed. Let's do this for now, let's do this. But it's nice to have the, what's it called, the opportunity of switching to the ring later on if I no longer need it. We need to fight the dude, the big dude. Yeah, we fight the boss, then that will probably be it. I plan to do quite a bit of progress during the weekend. Hopefully, well, not hopefully. The base monoliths are very simple to clear. If today I have time to clear the base monoliths, I'm hoping tomorrow to start grinding empower monoliths, because that's when you start getting the sweet gear. It will take a little bit, because the further you go into empowered monolith territory, the better gear you get, the higher the rarity, and you know, all the sort of stuff. So at the beginning of empowered monoliths you don't really get much, but then things get better and better and better. With Omelette, my early access rogue, I was farming above 500 corruption before the release of the game. And upgrades would not... was there a purple on the ground? Yes, don't care. Upgrades didn't come by extremely often, but you know, when it does happen, it always feels good. This is a character that I really enjoy playing. Probably the Shadow Daggers well, let's put things in perspective. In early access, the Shadow Daggers version was better. Flat out better. They got nerfed at release. How will they compare now, later on? I don't know. What annoys me a little bit is that Shadow Dancing Strikes were slightly buffed, but in a way that is irrelevant. Because they buffed a node that... it works well if you do a Dancing Strikes Shuriken mix build of Doom. But it doesn't look that good to me. I would rather use Shadow Daggers. And, you know, if you're doing a Dancing Strikes Shuriken build, the new... the improvements from a couple of nodes that now pop a lot of Shurikens. Let's see if I can show it. It's in Dancing Strikes... this one, you throw out a lot more shurikens if you follow that kind of build. But I would rather stick with the Shadow Daggers, just because they deal a crazy amount of damage. Which means that Shadow Daggers were nerfed, and Dancing Strikes were not really buffed for my build. It feels a little bit bad. It's not a big deal though, it's still a very fun, enjoyable, and strong build to play. We will have to see how it scales later on, though. Because a problem that I had in early access is that I always had the feeling that as the game progressed, Dancing Strikes was not really keeping up with the amount of damage that was required to kill trash mobs instantly, to avoid any dodgy incoming damage, as well as killing bosses in a fairly quick fashion.
Not happening.
And we will have to see what happens later on. Hello, puppies. It's a bit annoying that the third one decided not to join the party, because pretty much every ability that I have is an AoE centered around my character, meaning that if one of the doggies stays far from me, it's not like, oh, good doggy, good doggy. One is down. Two are down. They dropped the unique belt. There isn't any unique belt that I really need for this build. Let's see what it's going to be. Okay, GG, we got... the scavenger, I'm going to leave it on the ground. This is a bunch of nonsense. Man, playing without a loot filter is really awful. It's really the worst thing. Pursuit net, huh? No, don't mind if I do, don't mind if I do. Net is an ability that I'm considering to try when my build is a little bit more solidified in one way or the other. Because the decoy totem is nice, but I do believe that for a lot of fights, net would be just as good and much cheaper to use, and also without any cooldown. But we shall see, we shall see. There is a lot of we shall see when it comes to characters that are in progress. Oh my god, my neighbors started drilling their apartment on Saturday morning. What a cursed place to be. Let's see if I can tank it, just out of curiosity. Well, I dodged it. Dodging is pretty good. Dodging is pretty good. But the smoke bomb was a bit far. I'm hoping that it's not getting recorded, but there is a jackhammer going on in my neighbor's apartment. For people not in the know, my neighbors have a cursed apartment. It was probably built on top of an Indian or pet cemetery. Or the construction company has been scamming them for years because they have renovation going on all the time. It's non-stop. I believe that if I had to build a whole home, a whole house, all by myself with no previous knowledge, it would have been quicker and cheaper than how long and how much money it's taking to our neighbors to renew their apartment. So it's either a curse or a scam. Which one is the correct one? I have no clue. No one really knows for sure. Apart from the construction company or the people who built the cemetery under that apartment. I have no clue. Honestly, no clue. But at the end of the day, what is annoying for us is that very often we hear hammering, jackhammers and stuff like that. It's also possible that they're hiding corpses in the walls. What did we get? Strike avoidance? Minion resistances, necrotic damage. I don't read this one right now because I'm using the chest piece that gives me critical strike avoidance, but the other two are completely useless for me. So I might as well pick that one up. Okay, let's pick up some stuff. There is a key of the Sanctum. There is a girdle with what? Health with damage, endurance, move speed. It's not even the worst thing. Dragonfly maybe with true legendary potential. I believe it's the first piece that I get with the true legendary potential. Brave, brave and stunning. Let's go. We did it. We cleared another thing. Okay, then the next ones, well, are going to be the 3 big ones, followed by the ability of going to the empowered monolith. We're 15 minutes in, let's do one more. Let's do one more. I don't even remember where there may be something that I'm interested in farming, so let's just go here. Should I go to the Prophecy people? I'm rank 4 now, so there is nothing new being unlocked. I'm still rank 4, unfortunately. It's a bit low, but the bonuses are really nice. I'm enjoying those bonuses. Thank you to whoever designed that for solo self-found players. Let's see, garbage. Let's go this way, at least we get some XP. XP is really important. How far am I from level? Shouldn't be too far, I believe. Let's say 73% is my guess. Close to 90. I will edit that out. Future Sir Grindalot, remember to edit out that part. I will never remember to do it. I'm too lazy. I'm too lazy and or forgetful. An XP shrine, please? It's an XP shrine! Let's go! Where are the enemies? Come here. Come to me, my children. There are elite bosses, named bosses and stuff like that that give so much XP. There are times that when you have an XP shrine active and you kill one of those enemies, you get such an explosion of XP that it makes me so happy. Now, of course, when you are level 100, it's all like wasted, but when you are low level and you're still missing a lot of passive skill points to complete your build, the closer you make it to those juicy passive points, the better it is. Here we have a dagger, but I'm not going to pick it up because it's not the kind of dagger that fits my build. Although, was there a 40 physical damage? Whatever. Again, hopefully you are not hearing all the nonsense that is going on in the background. Luckily, my microphone should only be picking up my voice for the most part, but there is always the chance that it will start to also pick up the drill event is going on a few meters away from me in the neighbor's apartment. And now I know the build looks pretty solid right now. Like, I'm not losing many hit points, stuff dies fairly quickly, but there is a huge difference a huge spike in difficulty rather when going to empower the monoliths. And I should not have too many survivability issues, although I will need way more hit points than this. 1k hit points is not enough. But the damage will start to fall off because enemies will become tankier. Of course, they will deal more damage to us. And so that one will become the true test of faith for my character. Luckily, it starts... like, the difficulty curve, if you look at my mouse, it doesn't go like, whoa! It's more gradual, it's more like it starts to become harder and harder and harder, and as you make progress through the game, it becomes harder, but by that point you should also be having better gear, more skill points, more passive points, all that sort of stuff. Ideally. Now, if you don't find anything good for your character, then RIP, start a new one because your character is cursed, but... You're going to get upgrades, fear not, fear not. This is also a part of... Yeah, it's always a part of the game that I try to speed rush a little bit. Because the regular monoliths, in terms of loot and stuff like that, everything is pretty low level. So you're not getting a lot of interesting stuff. Sure, you may be dropping some upgrades every now and then, but it's not like, oh, I was going through my regular monolith and I found my ultimate endgame dagger that is going to carry me for the rest of the cycle. No, it doesn't work like that. And so it's important to strike a balance between killing some stuff so that you're getting XP and you're getting chances at finding upgrades for your character, while at the same time quickly making it to empowered monoliths so that you are actually starting to get good loot. To me it feels like they made the process faster. They mentioned something about the balancing of the end game and the flow of the game, so to speak, and there is definitely a difference, because the length of the campaign felt pretty much the same. I didn't notice any difference. It was probably a little bit faster, but I went through it so many times that I'm pretty... I would like to check. Thank you. Strength, melee attack speed. Okay. It's a pity we got strength. Anything else would have been more useful, but whatever. I'm so used to the campaign because I went through it many times and I know what to skip, what to look for, and all the sort of stuff. So it was a fairly quick progression for me, even while doing all the things that I wanted to do. On the other hand, the regular monoliths so far have been feeling much quicker for me. Not in terms of difficulty, but rather in terms of how quickly we can make it to the boss. You know, the 3 stages of the fight, to actually reach the boss of the timeline and then proceed with everything. To me, it felt like in early access, it took much longer. So maybe they increased the amount of corruption that we get, not of corruption, of influence, whatever it's called, each time we clear an echo. Because one of the biggest complaints, not just from me, but from a lot of players, was that you finish the campaign and you want to do empowered monoliths, and the regular monoliths felt like a slog, really a slog, because you don't get any good rewards from any. You do not realistically, let's say, get any good rewards from the regular monoliths, but still it takes time to complete them, and it always felt omega bad. Now, not so much. It probably took me 5 minutes to express a thought that would take a normal person 20 seconds or less to express. But unfortunately, you know, I just woke up, the neighbors are drilling, I'm sleepy. What is this? Okay, we can pick it up. I'm not going to use a Titan Heart, but, you know, it's good to have it. Let's go that way. Plus, there is always a bit of rambling when I do anything game related. If you have watched my anime videos in the past, you know what I'm talking about. We have Kamala. XP Shrine, let's go! Let's go, man. 2 XP Shrines in a span of 5 minutes or whatever it is feels like such a blessing. No, I don't want to do that. But you need to give me some enemies. It feels like such a scam when you get an XP Shrine and there are no enemies on the screen. Like this, like there are like 2 skeletons. Then the XP Shrines, you know, expires and the screen is full of enemies coming from every direction. Stop scamming me, 11th hour game. It's okay, I can forgive them, they're so busy taking care of the servers. For people wondering, I'm obviously playing offline, obviously. The game online is having some huge issues because, as everyone expected, the servers didn't really work out too well, and many people have been having issues connecting to the game, staying in the game. Let's pick that one up. Okay, pick one up. We can... No, that one is giga garbage. That's that, whatever. They're working very hard to fix those issues, but those issues are there nonetheless. And for someone like me who plays solo self-found and I enjoy playing offline so that I have access to this very easily, you just pause the game, you don't need to worry about lag spikes, you don't need to worry about anything. Like, that's my playstyle. The game is perfect. There is a couple of bugs, but they're very, very minor bugs. With the Circle of Fortune, if you go there to set up Prophecies, sometimes they only refresh when you actually close the game completely and you reload it, which is a little bit annoying. It's a waste of time, but it's like, 30 seconds, whatever. But some people got the game just to play online, and they cannot. And, if there is some microtransactions that you got because you really like the design of them, you cannot use them because you cannot connect, the connection is not stable, so I can understand why many people are giving bad reviews to the game. It's unfortunate, but everyone who played the early access was kinda expecting this to happen. Let's pick that up. This one is Giga Garbo, we don't care about it, let's keep going. The speed at which I clear vehicles feels pretty much in line with what was happening in early access. For a character about this level, of course. But the stability, it's not influence. The stability to me feels like it fills up quicker. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but, it doesn't take many echoes to actually reach the point where you can fight the boss. In early access it felt like a slog, but maybe, it's just something that my brain is making up. Oh, what the hell is this? Oh, that was lightning damage. You remember at the beginning of the video when I told you that we don't talk about my lightning resistance and then I need to be careful about enemies that deal lightning damage? Well, you know why. Checkmate is a grind a lot. But, it's RNG, there is not much that I can do. I did not get anything with lightning resistance so far. And all my other resistances are pretty okay. So I need to live with that curse. The fact that any enemy with lightning damage in the kit is my arch nemesis. At least until I can find / craft some piece of gear that gives me lightning resistance. I started crafting for the last boss of the campaign, by the way, because what happened is the last boss deals a lot of physical damage, and when I entered the fight I had, I believe, 5% physical resistance. It was not ideal, I would not recommend it, 0 out of 10. I got one shot several times by the boss. And because of that, I took a break, I took a step back from the game for a few minutes. I mean, I was still in the game, but I took a break from the fight. For a few minutes I went through some old gear and I crafted, I don't know if it's the one that I'm wearing. Yeah, this one. Like 9 mana, 1 vitality, whatever. 17 elemental resistance is pretty good, but 35 physical resistance was really important for me. And it allowed me to clear the last boss of the campaign, basically, instantly, without ever dropping my HP in a way that made me worry. Like, it felt very, very easy with that bump in resistances. So it's always highly recommended to spend some time crafting even in the early game. Just don't use too much crafting currency, especially the more uncommon ones, if you're lucky enough to find some. I have not been, I didn't find any rare currency yet. But, I've been playing the game for 2 days, so it's kind of expected. I have a feeling someone is dealing lightning damage. How dare you? Can we ban lightning damage? Can we cancel it? I'm pretty sure lightning damage is far right, and Last Epoch Twitter would approve of my idea. No, this is trash. This is garbage. Very often when I pick up something, or rather I leave it on the ground after hovering on it, and I say this is garbage, it usually means it's garbage for my build, for my character, or something like that. Because sometimes I will leave things on the ground like, oh my god, 12 strength, Jesus Christ. It doesn't do anything for my build. Skip. Uh, you might be having a stroke right now if you're someone who needs an item like that, but you know, it is what it is. I don't care about that. It stays on the ground. We need to establish dominance and let the game know that we're not going to settle for the sloppy seconds of our builds. We want the game to drop stuff that is good for our character right away. And I think that I learned from my early access, from my hundreds of hours in early access, is that there is a little bit too much of a habit. I have a little bit too much of a habit of putting stuff in the bank, thinking, well, maybe if I build a character that scales with that stuff and uses that skill to deal damage, it never happened. But my legacy stash is embarrassing. It's absolutely disgusting. There is all sort of garbage. And every time that I look at it and I think maybe I should tie it, I give up. I refuse to tidy my legacy stash. It's an absolute disaster. So I need to be more picky in the stuff that I pick up. No pun intended, by the way, I just realized that. And that's why I usually... Oh, nice, skills level up. I usually have a very aggressive loot filter on this character. What I'm using from the other computer where I usually play from is the only things that drop are all sorts of uniques, because they're worth saving, daggers, blades, and armor pieces, and nothing that is exclusive for the other classes, and nothing that is below yellow rarity. In a few days, once all my equipment is hopefully all going to be exalted, or unique, exalted, whatever, I will also remove the rares from the pool of loot that shows on the ground. We do not have a clear path to victory here. Let's go this way. I could use some extra keys. How far are we? 30 minutes. Yeah, this is pretty much like one of my anima videos. Anima, for people not in the know, if you know what I'm talking about, you are an original one, props to you. If not, there is a hack and slash game for... or there was a hack and slash game for mobile platforms called Anima, and it's what pushed me to create this YouTube channel, because I really wanted to record my progress in the game, because I was playing it all day non-stop at the time, and that game broke my heart because it had a ton of potential, but the developers clearly didn't see it in the game, and it had a very smooth endgame loop. Simple, because we are talking about, you know, an Android iPhone game, so it's not like there was some insane depth in the game. But it was very enjoyable and fast-paced, extremely fast-paced. And it had, you know, all the important beats of a hack and slash game that is well designed in terms of gear progression, character progression, build variety, different skills. It was a very beautiful game with a graphic engine that didn't make the game look amazing, but at the same time it was more than competent, and the game was fluid and everything. But the developers pretty much stopped the development of the game. They just made sure that the game would keep going, and the bugs that were in the game were never fixed. New content that was really needed was never released, and it was really upsetting, really upsetting, because with a little bit more focus in terms of development and advertisement and, you know, all the sort of stuff, it could have been a huge hit, but the developers didn't see it, and I dropped it just because it was becoming absolutely infuriating for me to play it, because I was seeing the potential, but damage skill by shadows. No, this one we need to check for a moment. This one can go. This one can go. Okay. I wonder. I do believe this one cannot be better. 9-7. Very similar though. So what about this? Oh, this one is better then. Even with a thing that does absolutely nothing. That's pretty good actually. Pretty good. Here we have dodge rating. I like dodge rating, but the problem is I really need this for the resistances. Really need it. This one has a little bit of potential, but the one that I'm using is not bad either. So let's do this, let's do this, let's do this, and let's keep going. What did I create here recently? More melee attack speed, a lot of resistances. That's actually pretty neat. I overcapped them a lot, but it means that I will have more freedom in switching pieces of gear around later. Like, I definitely have something with a ton. Like, if I remove this one right now, the only one that is problematic is physical resistance, meaning that if I get a pair of exalted boots with a lot of physical resistance, then well, all the other stats are going to be great for my build. But for this time build, let's stick to this. I'll probably be recording another, I don't know, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, something like that, then upload the whole thing. See if we can make it to the boss, clear this one, and then we call it a day. Not for my grinding, but for your viewing of my grinding. These kind of videos will happen very often in the coming future, because I will probably have issues to stream due to work shenanigans. And I will not have time to take days off or half days off or work from home for a while, I'm afraid. So my streaming schedule will definitely take a hit and will not be able to be as regular as it is now, but we shall see. So I will be recording some of my grinding sessions in all games, in the last epoch, in Honkai Star Rail. For Honkai Star Rail, I wouldn't say that I'm going to record my grinding session, because, you know, grinding in Honkai Star Rail is you log in, you dump your energy, in 5 minutes you're done, essentially.
Not happening.
But pulling Memory of Chaos, you know, endgame content, that is something that I always record. It makes me happy. Dragon Slayer Glaive of Conquest. Stop spinning. I'm the one who spins. Well, I can forgive you. You dropped a ring with with over 100% hit points, so we can forgive the spinning dude. He was a real one. Props to him. I'm forgetting to level up everything, by the way. I'm forgetting to level up everything. Yeah, we did it at to level up everything to 20. I really want to start going in that direction. But I also really want to get this one. So let's get this one for now, and the build for the time being is pretty much complete. I could remove one point here, but we worry about it later. And we start to go in that direction. And once I get the unique blade that I mentioned earlier, I'll probably be respecting a few unnecessary points here and there, and do pop, and go here. Also, worth mentioning, I believe it's on the relic slot that we can get up to +3 dancing strikes. I will need to double check, don't take my word for it, because it may be the gloves or the boots, but I believe it's the relic. And so I will be fishing really hard for a relic with +3 dancing strikes, because without the +3, you basically need to give up something very relevant. Either some huge multipliers at the bottom right of the tree of dancing strikes, or you give up the synergy with Shadow Knives. Both of these things are not particularly good. But with a +3 to dancing strikes, you can have the Shadow Knives synergy, Shadow Daggers, I'm sorry. Shadow Daggers synergy, as well as everything else. Rune of Ascendance? Did I read that right? Need to check at the end of the map. Oh, this dude, yes! Glaive, whatever. And that is going to make the build very, very nice, in my humble opinion. Because I will have dancing strikes hitting pretty hard, while also enabling the synergy with the Shadow Daggers during the spinning strikes. It should be working fine, but I really need the blade. Anything good? No. Now let me check a thing. What is the progress for this? Because this is a siege golem. It was not in the early access, by the way. The circle of finding stuff, and I'm not sure how prophecies are supposed to trigger, to activate during the game. Because I was expecting that there would be a counter, like, oh yeah, you killed some of those things, you are still missing X amount of them, keep going. But this one, I believe, is the siege golem number 3. Maybe 4, I might have missed one. Let's see if I can find one more. Here we just have a bunch of garbage. Let's see in this big area if there is one of those siege golems.
Not happening.
It was not a huge area. I'm feeling scammed. Then let's go back to the end of world. We get the reward. Then I will very quickly go to the. I will very quickly go to the friends over here. Not here. Not these friends. These friends, and ask them, hey, what's up with the whole thing? Because I'm really looking forward to get those unique swords, but nothing is happening. So, what?
Not happening.
You have returned.
View my prophecies.
What is it that you see?
Event: 5 deaths of siege golem. Condition: none. Where are my? I'm sure that I killed more than 5 in my maps. But okay, I guess it's another one of those. It is what it is. It's the only explanation. So it is what it is. Maybe it doesn't work. I don't know. Where was I? In the last ruin or in Spirits of Fire? I thought I was in the Spirits of Fire. Am I?
Not happening.
I was. Let's go. The timeline that I will be farming the most once I make it to the Empower Monoliths is going to be the one with the zombie dragon, because it's the timeline for sword and daggers. And ideally, my endgame build is going to have the gladiator sword, the one that creates the arena, and a smoke weaver, and they both drop from that timeline. And the fight with that boss is very obnoxious for melee characters, because I would say 2/3 at least of the skill that the boss uses are a nightmare for melee characters. But you know, the first few times it's a huge pain in the ass. After that, you know, I just need to dodge everything or I die. Easy, like, well, no problem. But once you know what to do, things will come up Milhouse.
Not happening.
How is the XP? Half a level, roughly. I don't know, my friend. Oh my god, that was a giga explosion of loot that I was not expecting. We got... what's that? No. My beloved Pancake. The rest is pretty bad. But the dream is to eventually drop this ring with legendary potential. And, you know, if you throw 100 and change a health on it, it's going to be okay. This is probably worth crafting a little bit later on, not right now. Definitely not right now. Whoa, what the hell happened? That was not what I meant to do. I didn't want to equip it. Excuse me. I wanted to put it here. No! Shift, click, oh. Game trying to throw me a bamboozle. Can we make it? Maybe. Yeah, it should be enough. How far are 45 minutes, yeah. I think I will complete this one, see if we drop any fat weapon, then I will call it for the video, because I don't want it to be excessively long. Like, some people watch these kind of videos to see the progress of the game in general, and to hear me rant about stuff. But some other people would like a very, you know, specific showcase, and I don't like that kind of thing. I don't watch them and I don't like making them, so I would rather have something that shows the overall feel of the gameplay rather than like a single highlight that is often recorded under the best circumstances possible. That doesn't give a good idea of how the character feels. Because, for example, I showed you earlier when I was getting almost insta-gibbed in the map, in the echo, with the enemies that were dealing lightning damage, right? Most people who make those very nice showcases on YouTube, would have they shown that that clip, or would they have edited it out? Maybe only leaving in those where they can rush to the boss of the echo, one-shot it, and move on. But yours truly does it. And not because I'm lazy and I don't want to edit it, because I always edit my videos a little bit, but just because I like to give the whole how to say that, the whole package, to show the whole package. Giga trash, giga trash, giga trash. One-handed sword, but it's giga trash. One-handed sword, it's giga trash. Two-handed sword is giga trash. Man, this echo sucked so bad. It's a good time to end the recording, I guess. Showing my character again, because the other day I noticed that in the video that I uploaded mentioning which characters I was going to build and showing my early access rogue, I didn't show this tab. So we showed it at the beginning, we showed it at the end. We had a small upgrade in this. Let's craft it. Let's craft it. Let's craft it. We want to... there is this thing that very often the glyph window doesn't go away. It's really annoying. That sucked really hard. That was the worst possible outcome. And there is not even much that we can do about it. Yeah. For people who didn't notice what happened, I leveled up manually critical strike chance. I got a critical, and it leveled up lightning penetration, which I don't care about. Now lightning penetration reached the maximum level, meaning that I can no longer craft anything here, and so I cannot reroll it into something else. I cannot do anything about it. So I'm stuck with a lightning penetration bonus that does absolutely nothing for me. Chance to blind on hit. Blind is not a bad effect. Enemies will deal less damage. Unfortunately, I really have this that prevents critical strikes from the enemies, so this is a little bit of a wasted substat. For me, let's do this. Can you go away? Yeah. Health on kill is actually not awful, because we kill a lot of trash enemies, but it's bad against bosses. In that kind of situation, you can check here, crafting material. This one is a suffix, you can have a look. And you see, well, we're not getting that one. We currently have health on kill. What about the rest? What are other things that we can get? Chance to bleed, chill, ignite, poison, shock. Like, how many of those are completely useless and you don't want to see them? And how many of those are completely wasted and you don't want to have them? Right now, the amount of rolls that are completely wasted is way higher than the amount of things that provide some bonus to my build. If I could snipe any one of these, it would be dodge rating. I would really like dodge rating. Chance to shred armor is also nice, but I have many abilities in my kit that already do it. Health of melee hit would be nice, but it means that this will be a random roll, and only one, because I'm also out of forging potential to snipe maybe 2 suffixes out of... I think it's around 300. It's not 300, but it's a lot, so I stay with that. Our damage skyrockets. This one is an absolute piece of garbage, right? Yeah, because we do not really care about attunement, but let's do this. It's true, I got a Rune of Ascendance. That's nice. Very, very nice. So, that will be all for today. This was my grinding session. It was the current showcase of my rogue Pancake. I will be making some progress in the next few days. And I'll see you next time. Enjoy your grind, guys. Take care.